pops a wheelie, and boom, right to the chest. Welcome back to the Canto Drama Club. Flying Tiger 3 episode 2 is out, and here are my top 10 moments from the episode. I also noticed that 94% of you guys who are watching my videos are not subscribed to the channel yet, so please subscribe so you know when my next video drops. Episode 2, here we go. This episode starts off with a police investigation on Mr. Pat. Looks like after all the tussle and bustle from last episode, somehow they could not find the mystery box, nor could they find Renee. Now knowing what the Tigers are up against, they try to train harder to prepare for the next encounter with the terrorists. So this is where Fonser, so that's Mustache Moses, he decides to up the training and really put the squad through a regimented session. Unfortunately, as they're doing their runs, everything looks pretty good so far, but Siu-Yu's character starts to pull up with a cramp. Oh man, cramps are always painful, always hurts, always tough to run through. Once they get back to the finish, Allah defends Siu-Yu and says that, well, she had a little bit of a cramp and we all went back, that's why we couldn't make the time of the trial. Ahin is ordered to bring Siu-Yu back in for some medical attention, and Fonser orders Allah to go run another 10 kilometers. Oh man, so much running. On a lighter note now, we are at Casa Ahin, where we see Allah and Siu-Yu visiting. So this part's pretty funny. Allah tells Ahin that everyone knows that he's been chasing Siu-Yu, but he'll continue to pursue her until she finally accepts him. The mom even pulls Siu-Yu into the kitchen to ask her if she's thought about accepting Allah. Oh man, the family pressures are real here. That's exactly the look of a girl who is being pressured. So, Fonser and Dawn set up a more sophisticated training simulation for the squad. And they head on out there with their paintball guns and fully equipped so that it's simulating as true to real life as possible. To be completely honest with you guys, if there weren't any real life consequences to the stuff like this, and it was just a paintball match, I think I'd be pretty interested to do something like this. It'd be pretty fun. Have you guys ever tried paintballing before? I've done it a few times, a couple years ago now, but unfortunately, I was always matched up with people who brought their own gear, and man, when you're using a tiny little pistol or a tiny little rifle and the rest of the people there who are fully geared up, if you shoot them, it doesn't even hurt them. And on top of that, they bring their automatic guns in. It's not gonna be a fun time. So make sure you party up with your friends and you try to book out the whole place for yourself. Anyway, back to our scheduled programming. Allah was a little bit too hasty in his decisions during this sim, and it costed the squad. You can see a couple of their guys are already getting shot up at, and even afterwards when Fonser confronted him, he said that he thought what he did was okay, and sometimes there has to be a couple of sacrifices that have to be made and decisions have to be made as well, to really make sure that the whole operation still runs. Allah goes in and confronts Fonser and asks him why he wasn't chosen to be the leader of Team B. So that's where Fonser says, well, it's not because your physicality isn't good enough, and it's not because your decision making isn't good enough, but it's because of the personality right now. He's sometimes a little bit too rash and too fiery, and right at this moment he doesn't think that he's suitable to be the leader of Team B, which of course caused Allah to be a little bit butthurt, just a bit. Alright, moving forward in this episode, we are following along with Fonser's daughter, and what is this scene here? Who's she being followed by? Who's at home waiting for her? Puts the keys down, turns out, oh my goodness, what a big fake out. Yep, that's what I'm saying too. I'm like, what was that? Alright, so I thought something bad was gonna happen, but it's just Fonser's daughter, and it is a surprise party for her. In this scene, we find out that his daughter's name is Ai, and that she is an intern journalist. It just so happens, it turns out that she had an interview with a certain lady that Dawn is a little bit familiar with here, and it was broadcasted on TV. At this moment, we find out that Dawn maybe isn't as close to his wife as he would like, because it seems like he hadn't seen her in a while. At Dawn's home, we see him making, what is that? Sunpei. My dad loves that stuff. I think I tried it once or twice when I did go back to Hong Kong to visit. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I don't think we really have that stuff here in Canada, or at least not too well made. Oh, so there's the wife. It does seem like they have a little bit of a strained relationship. Maybe it's her work that's too stressful. Maybe it's his work that's too stressful. I don't know what the issue is, but healthcare appropriation. What is that? Okay, okay, I see you. Fonser, looking pretty jacked. So Moses, the actor who plays Fonser, is actually 50 years old, so good on him, man. Looking good for a 50-year-old. So during this scene, him and his daughter have another pretty serious conversation about his work and how much stress it puts on her. So she's already lost her mom, and all she wants in life is for her dad to be with her for as long as possible. I feel you, girl. I can relate. Let's go. Madam Ho, Jeannie's character, blasts Mr. Pat, and I have to share this audio clip between the two of them where he calls her a B and she tells him to sit his ass down. So here you go. Enjoy, you guys.
Listen to me, you bloody bitch. Don't you know who you're talking to? I say we go now, and you will do what I say.
So I suggest you sit your ass back down and try to keep your shit together while I wait for my order.
Alright, so essentially what all that stuff was about was that they can't really hold Mr. Pat, so Jeannie's character, Madam Ho, has to escort him to the airport, even though she's gathering evidence to try to arrest him. And oh man, on the way to the airport, of course, they get ambushed and a gunfight ensues. Mr. Pat uses this time to try to make a run for it. And once again, he gets taken and he is driven off. But holy, the action doesn't stop. Siu comes in with the motorcycle. Oh my goodness, what a boss. Pops a wheelie and boom, right to the chest. Holy, once again, this entire sequence is intense. You guys have to watch the actual show for all this, because of course I'm cutting and clipping all these scenes, but if you just watch it all the way through, you'll understand how intense the sequences actually are. In this next scene, we see that because Mr. Pat got away, I guess the people who were trying to put him into the car was Renee's people. The Highness Renee is super pissed that Mr. Pat got away. Looks like she's kind of like a rogue assassin, because clearly she has like a hit list, and it seems like the person that she's targeting is the same target as the police do, so maybe she's not necessarily like a bad guy? I don't even know. We'll see. Moving along, we see that the Tigers have tracked down Renee's location and they make their move. They are going to try to execute their plan as best to their abilities. Don is, I guess, the strategic guy, so he overlooks everything. He's in the computers, hacking the cameras, letting them know what the layout is all about. And once they get in, they try to make quick work of all these little henchmen that are surrounding the building. In the middle of all this fighting and action, woo, we see that Siu's got some moves here. Alright. I'm pretty sure she just single-handedly took down like 3, 4 of these henchmen. Alright, girl. Get it. Alright, so here we see Fonser, Alok, and Ahin chasing down Renee. Be careful, because you guys don't know this layout. Oh man, they step in to the trap of the laser grid, which allows Renee to get out of there safely. Fonser then calls for the rest of the squad to make a run for it and to evacuate the building, because they don't really know what the trigger is going to be, like how much of the explosions are going to happen, how big the explosions are. Fonser then calls for everyone to evacuate the building and then gives one more decisive call to Ahin and Alok and tells them to make a run for it. Go! And we see a trail of explosions leading us to the end of this episode and leading you straight down to the bottom there in the comment section to smash that like button. Drop a comment on what you guys think is going to happen in the next couple of episodes and in this series itself. While you're at it, please subscribe, turn on that notification bell so you know when my next videos drop. All right, have yourselves a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.